If you're thinking about moving to Cincinnati, then you're probably trying to figure out what life is actually like here. Today, I'll share 7 things that people love about living in Cincinnati and 3 things that might surprise you. These are the patterns that I see over and over again, helping people relocate here. Moving to a new city isn't just about finding a house. It's about all of the things that fit into your day-to-day. So stick around, especially for the stuff at the end. I really do think that they'll help you avoid frustration and hopefully start off on the right foot. Whether you're relocating for work or family or just a change of pace, this will help you make a more informed decision about whether Cincinnati is a good fit. If you're considering a move, I've also got some free tools linked below to help you plan with confidence. I'm Lucas with the Cairns team, and I moved to Cincinnati myself back in 2013. So I know firsthand what it's like trying to figure out if a city is really a fit. Now as a local realtor, I work with people moving here from out of state, and my goal is to help you feel not just confident about buying a home, but confident about calling this place home. Let's start with one of the biggest reasons that people move here: affordability. Affordability is a huge draw. It's not just hype. The overall cost of living here is about 4% lower than the national average. You can still find a great home between $300,000 and $400,000 in many areas. Compare that to cities like Denver, Nashville, Charlotte. The savings are pretty clear. Rent typically runs about $1,350 to $1,450 for a clean apartment, and the daily costs like groceries and healthcare and childcare often come in lower than the national average too. And all of that breathing room in your budget, it shows up in your quality of life. You can eat out more, save more, travel, say yes to more experiences. That's one of the reasons why people stay in Cincinnati after moving here. It just makes life a little bit easier to enjoy. But it's not all about the cost. It's about the community that you move to as well. And that brings me to my second point. It's a big city, but it's got small town vibes. Technically, the Cincinnati metro area has over 2 million people, but it doesn't always feel that way. It feels personal, local, familiar, because this place is really a collection of tight-knit small towns. You've got OTR, which is kind of trendy. It's packed with restaurants and breweries. There's Oakley and Hyde Park, which are pretty walkable and stylish, and they tend to attract young professionals and sometimes young families. And you've got Loveland, Mason, and Westchester, which are family favorites. They have great schools and very strong community feel. Honestly, I could go on and on. Montgomery and Marymount have a very refined and kind of timeless feel, while Liberty feels really wide open, and places like Milford and the Eastgate area feel more like a small town. Each of these areas feels distinct, and the question isn't, can I afford to live there, as much as it is, what draws me to this particular area? That makes the home search really fun, and it's one of my favorite parts of helping people move to Cincinnati. Now, this next one made a huge impact on me, especially being someone that moved here from the West Coast, and that is how insanely green Cincinnati is. In fact, it's built on 7 hills, and the valleys and rivers, they weave through, and that means parks and trails and trees and some beautiful views. Eden Park, right above downtown, has overlook views and gardens. There's Alt Park with huge green spaces, and there's a pavilion and skyline sunsets. Mount Airy Forest is one of the largest city parks. Loveland Bike Trail is a 65-mile stretch that weaves through woods and towns. And there's California Woods, funny enough. And Cincinnati Nature Center is another place that we take our kids, and there are dozens more. These really aren't weekend destinations either. Many neighborhoods have parks, and so you'll find yourself walking trails and hitting the playground as part of your daily rhythm. We do all the time. If green space matters to you, then Cincinnati definitely delivers. Now let's talk about something that always gets attention: the food. Yes, Skyline Chili is a thing, and yes, you either love it or you don't really get it, but Cincinnati is not a one-trick pony when it comes to food. You've got Findlay Market, the oldest open-air market in Ohio, and it's packed with local vendors. There's Grater's Ice Cream. It's a must-have that people literally ship across the country. The OTR food scene with chef-driven restaurants and those sorts of things, food trucks, bakeries, coffee shops. Craft beer is really popular. Cincinnati has more than 80 breweries across the region. The food culture here is local and creative, but it's still pretty affordable and approachable. Whether you're a foodie or just looking for a solid meal with character, you're in good hands. Cincinnati has another trick. It's something that makes it really unique. It has all of the big city perks, even though it doesn't necessarily have that big city feel. You've got major employers here like Procter & Gamble, Kroger, and Fifth Third Bank. Art and culture is big. We have Broadway shows, Cincinnati Symphony, all kinds of art museums. We have pro sports, the Bengals, the Reds, and we have FC Cincinnati. We have festivals and events like Oktoberfest, Blink, and Taste of Cincinnati. But still, when you walk into a coffee shop, people say hi. When your neighbor sees that your trash blew over, sometimes they pick it up. There's a friendliness here and a warmth and a shared pride in the city, and I think that you can feel that. The next part is important for us because it's who we are. If you're raising a family in Cincinnati, it's a really great place to be. There are top-rated schools like Mason, Indian Hills, Sycamore, and Madeira. Neighborhood parks and playgrounds are in almost every community. Youth sports, community rec centers, libraries with free programming. We do that stuff all the time. Seasonal events like Touch a Truck, Christmas tree lighting, summer concerts, farmers markets, and there are so many churches and communities to be a part of that offer connection and experiences for your family. And the housing is still fairly accessible for families. You can find 3 to 4 bedroom homes with yards at a price that doesn't really crush your budget. It's a place where kids, for the most part, can still ride bikes and grow up without you having to worry about lots of the things that you see in bigger cities. And speaking of homes, there is a lot of character. If you're not into cookie cutter, then you're gonna love Cincinnati. Many of the homes here are 50, 75, even 100 years old. And while that can mean quirks like small closets and uneven floors, it also means solid craftsmanship and character that you really don't get in new builds. If you're open to a little personality, Cincinnati homes definitely have it. And I help my clients navigate the charm and the quirks. And so to sum it up, those are the highlights that people usually fall in love with pretty quickly. The affordability, the neighborhoods, the parks, the food. There are so many reasons that people come and stay. But like anywhere, there are a few things that catch people off guard. And so my goal is to let you know about those things now rather than later. These next 3 things aren't necessarily deal breakers, but they're things that people tell me that they didn't really expect when they got here. And I can definitely attest to that. We'll just go right into the first one because it's an easy transition. It's the older homes. The plumbing and HVAC probably needs to be updated. Electrical systems might even need to be updated. Inspections are really important. You definitely want to know what you're getting into. I always prepare my clients for this and I connect them with great inspectors and contractors if they need to get work done. The key is knowing what to expect so that you can be excited and also be prepared at the same time. You also want to think about maintenance in older homes. Not only is there a lot of mowing your grass in Ohio, but the water is very real. You have to make sure that the property is graded right, the gutters are in good shape, the roof and the windows are in good shape because there's a lot of rain. And that leads us right into the next thing, the weather. The weather is a lot. We get all 4 seasons here, sometimes in the same week. And I know that everyone says that, but in Ohio, we really mean it. Summer, lots of pool days, and lots of thunderstorms. Winter, we have mild snow, but a lot of gray skies. People talk about Seattle being rainy, and it is a different kind of rain, but Seattle has 150 days of rain with 38 inches annually. Cincinnati has 120 to 130 days of rain with 43 inches annually. Those are just averages, but Cincinnati is a very rainy city. In a lot of places, rain is very seasonal with big long dry spells during the summer. But here the rain is spread more evenly, and it's heavy. Summers are hot and humid with sudden rain. Storms roll in and roll out, and you might get an entire week of sun, and then you might have a big storm come through. Overall, the rain is more likely to come in downpours and storms and quick bursts. Rain feels disruptive here sometimes, but temporary. We're under a tree, so it's not too bad. Oh my gosh. Go, 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 go. People tend to kind of wait and let the rain pass, but it does oftentimes delay things like events. You also have to think about lightning and flooding here as well. Spring and fall, on the other hand, are short and beautiful. Layered outfits are your friend, and if you get seasonally affected, then having some green space and good lighting is really important, but you do have to be comfortable being indoors. Parts of the year are very cold and parts of the year are a bit warm. And the third thing that I'll tell you about is transportation. Cincinnati is definitely a car city. There is a metro bus system, but for the most part, you're gonna need a car to get around. Most people commute from suburb to suburb, or they need access to downtown from outer neighborhoods. So most areas aren't that walkable in the traditional sense. When I help clients relocate, we talk a lot about commute time early because it really does shape everything else. You definitely want to think about 275, which is the highway that runs around the city, and then 75 and 71 that run more north to south. It's really important to think about where you're going to be for home, where you're going to be for work, and what the commute time looks like driving between those things. So all that said, if you're thinking about making the move to Cincinnati, I have 2 free tools that will help you get started. My Relocation Toolkit has a checklist, FAQs, and tips to make your move smoother, and my First Time Buyer Toolkit is a step-by-step guide if you're new to the process. You can grab either or both by using the links that are down in the description. If you're selling a home to make the move, then feel free to take the seller assessment below. These tools are great, so go get the info. It will give you a peek into how we tackle this stuff, but know that the real value in what we do is in the nitty-gritty and in the details, and we can only do that face-to-face or on a Zoom call. My calendar is linked below, so just click and schedule with me. Let's get a time and let's start talking through all of this and how you can start preparing for the transition. We've helped families move here from across the country, and we'd love to help you too. Now, if you're wondering what it really costs to buy a home here, not just the price tag, but all of the little things that add up, then make sure to watch this next video. It breaks down everything so that you can start to budget with confidence and avoid surprises. I'll see you there.